an Empire Boxing and Unlearning Network production.
Welcome back to the Empire Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, and tonight we welcome a rising star. Elijah Garcia at 16-0 is a professional boxer with 13 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He is the WBC Latino champion, the WBO Intercontinental champion, ranked number 1 by the WBA, number 2 in the US by BoxRec, and 9th in the world. I don't know if there's any more room for numbers on your resume there.
Yeah, just a couple more knockouts and a couple more titles, and we'll be good.
Yeah, and it sounds like there's a busy household. You got your family there. It sounds like there's some kids. Tell us about your family.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of us here in Whitney. You know, how many is there? There's like 9 of us in this house. You know, I got 2 kids. I got a wife. I got my brothers. I got 2 brothers. I got my mom, my dad, and I got my godmother here living with us. And majority of the time, you know, we got lots of family over, or lots of friends too, you know, so we like a packed house.
I was going to say, it sounds like your community runs deep. That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's keep it close.
And so let's go back, and I want you to tell me about, what is that?
So my dad's making espresso.
Oh.
He's famous for his espressos. He just came home, so he's gonna make us both espresso. Sorry.
If he shows us what it looks like after he's done.
All right, say no more.
He's got to finish the espresso.
Send him a video. Send him a video of the espresso machine and everything. I want to see that.
Because, I mean, if you hadn't told me that, I would have thought someone was getting their soul exercised in the background there for a second. No, it's just espresso.
Yeah, he has this cool machine he found on a good price. It's like a $1,300 machine. He got it for a couple bucks. So,
Dad,
yeah.
The bargain hunter.
Oh, yeah. He likes to make espressos. He grills.
What can't he do? He's a boxing coach. He's a barista, by all accounts, and he also is a bargain hunter. I need to come hang out at your house. It sounds like there's way too much fun going on over there. Eli, let's talk about you. I was reading about you a little bit, and you know, it seems like you're a really athletic guy just by nature. You played all the sports. At what point did boxing sort of take over and become the one that you decided to make your life?
So I was really good at baseball. I really liked football. But 8th grade, I tore and ripped my groin and hamstring.
Jeez.
And so I quit playing football. It kind of ruined it for me, and I started wrestling. I had like 20 or 30 freestyle matches, and then for some reason the wrestling room was closed, so we went to my grandpa's boxing gym over break, and we kind of stuck there since I was 12 years old, and I stuck with it, and it's brought me this far. So
wow. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was your grandfather that saw something in you around 11 years old. What was it that you think he saw?
It's just my grandpa, his dad used to fight. He trained my dad, and now he has his grandkids in the gym. So I think it's just, you got to keep it going, and that's what he did. So, it's not that. I don't think he saw anything. It's just, he liked spending time with us, getting to work with us like that.
Yeah. And so where's Grandpa at right now? Is he living in the house as well, or?
Yeah.
There's no room for him.
Pretty soon he'll be. Look at that.
Oh, let's see that. Oh my God! Wow. Did he make it for you? Or
he's made that right now. It's a double shot. What is that? Double shot macchiato. Called a cortado. It's a horchata.
Horchata. Yeah, I've actually heard of the cortado. There's gonna be no sleep tonight in the Garcia house.
Oh my! I just came back from California right now. I just got driving. Yeah, I had my 3rd espresso today. To be honest,
I love it. Keep the engines going. So, what does it mean to you to be a 4th generation boxer in a prestigious lineage like that?
To be honest, I'm hoping I'm the last, because I feel like we've all been fighting for a long time, and I think I'm the closest. Even on my website, she had brothers fight too, and her dad fought. So I think I'm the closest one to getting this world title. And once I get this world title, I think that should be it for everybody. I feel like that's a family accomplished goal. So
Right. Okay.
very
So
exciting. It's just,
what happens when your son's like, Dad, I want a box?
I don't, I mean, I think it's good for him to train and everything like that, but I don't think he needs to be having fights and cutting weight and everything like that. It's too hard. It's too hard on her body. Not that, but mentally, you got to be prepared for it. A lot of people think they want to fight, or a lot of people, you know, to be honest, a lot of people think they want to fight, or a lot of people, want to train and stuff like that. But if you don't have that mentality, you'll get yourself hurt. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, fair.
But-
And what's I think it's so cool. I've talked to, quite a few guys that have had, their dads as their coaches. And there's a really interesting dynamic between, how do you balance family time and having coach and athlete time? What's that dynamic like with you and your dad and your father?
Well, the cool thing is, I see a lot of father-son duels, and the only problem is, there's only a couple of them. Like my dad, there's only a couple who's, their dads actually fought. You know what I mean? Like I remember going in the amateurs, all these kids, had their dads training them, but none of the dads fought before. And it's different because, we and my dad went out there to tournaments and stuff like that. Like the other coaches would recognize my dad, you know what I mean? A lot of the coaches would recognize him, talk to him, or a lot of the judges even, you know what I mean?
Right.
And none of that, but so he knows what it's like to fight. So when we come home, we don't want to talk about what you need to do, how you need to do it. I'm telling you, it's more about like we're at home, it's time to chill. You know what I mean? Unless it's like 2 weeks away from the fight week. For the most part, I'm at the stage where I fight like every couple months. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when we're at home, it's just all about it's family time, what we're gonna eat, what we're not gonna eat, what we're gonna do, and that's what's special because a lot of I feel bad for a lot of the kids, growing up amateur because their dad never fought before, their dad has them training their asses off. You know what I mean? And it's not fair. They should have a childhood.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, and you would know that best as well because you made a very early pro debut after a really brief amateur career, and then you stormed the scene. Tell us about that pro debut experience fighting in Mexico. You were 16 years old.
Yeah, so I've said it before a couple of times, like these Mexico trips there's a lot of other people that like it, you know what I mean? Because they go out there, they have easy fights and shit like that, but not me, to be honest. I like to stay at home, and going out there, it's kind of a hassle for me because one, you got to come out of the pocket. Two, you got to hustle for your own sponsors. Then three, it's happened to me like a couple times where you go out there, they're like, okay, so this is the guy you're gonna fight, and it's just he won't show up. So then there's another guy, and then the other guy's like 20 pounds heavier, or the other guy's, like you honestly don't know who you're gonna fight out there. There's been one time I was in like Ascension, Chihuahua or something like that. And they just had a bus full of fighters pull up. There was like 30 fighters in there. They all lined up, and they're like, okay, well, which guy do you want to fight? And
Wow.
we're kind of like, well, which guy, is on the box rack?
Yeah,
And
just on site? That's crazy.
yeah, just on site. So then, we kind of like went from height, went from, how much do you think he weighs? And then that was pretty much it. Like I had hopped on the scale at like 147 pounds, but, that really didn't matter.
Right. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit wild out there.
Yeah, way wild. I actually got a fight they didn't even record. I fought Papas and Beer in TJ, and they got busted because they're throwing too many fight. Like every weekend they're throwing a fight, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I guess they got caught up because you're supposed to take a break in between time
Right.
periods, and I never got my fight on there, so I should be 17-0 with like 15 knockouts, something like that. But
Right.
it's part of the boxing game against.
So how do you find like, relating to other guys your age? You know what I mean? Like you have crazy experiences like what you're just talking about, fighting in some bar in like an unsanctioned event in Tijuana, like you're like guys lining up outside of a bus and you're just eyeballing who you want to fight. Like you have all these experiences. Like how do you relate to other people your age? Do you find that difficult or?
Yeah, to be honest, nobody could relate to me. I mean, like even going to school, like I went to school and, I never really had friends. Even in high school, I never really had friends. I got two same friends, since like fourth grade, and, we've been tight ever since. But, like right now, I had my first kid, I was 16 years old. I had my second kid when I was 18 years old. 18 years old, I started fighting here in the States, and it wasn't like, you know, every other 18-year-old that wants to go out. You know, like my 21st birthday just hit, and you know, like I got to fight in about 7 weeks. You know what I mean? So I'm not out there, you know, partying or doing other shit. You know, I'm here with my kids. I'm here with my family. I just took my kids to Disneyland. Like when I was 18 or 19 years old, I fought Vidal, and the fight was March 4th. And my son, my wife, and she was pregnant. Oh, so my son, my wife, and my daughter, they went to Disneyland without me because, you know, I trained, get ready for, you know, the big fight, and they celebrated his birthday out there. But you know, it's to be honest, I don't think anybody could relate to me. Yeah, it's difficult, it's hard, but you know, that's why I have my family, and you know, we're so tight, we're so close.
Yeah, it makes sense you guys have this unit, because I mean, yeah, what a lifestyle to lead. Like, there's not a lot of people that could probably,
Not at all. I mean,
share
like
that with you.
if I take one or two of the wrong steps in the wrong direction, you know, like everything could just, I could lose everything easy, no problem. You know what I mean? Like I'm at the stage where, especially in boxing, I'm at the stage where, you know, I'm taking these hard fights, you know, 50-50 fights. And if I lose, you know, I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lose. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you shocked the world at 19 years old. You know, you were unranked and you knocked out Vidal in the 4th round. How did you handle the pressure of that? You know, just as a young man stepping onto the scene.
19 years old. And I remember like yesterday, I was telling my wife about it, you know, on the way back, because we passed by Ontario and I was just telling her like how scared I was, you know, like you got to play, like you got to put this mask on, you know, and, I mean, I was scared. I trained like, you know, my life was on the line. I trained like I was going to die in the ring, to be honest. You know, I was going to fight this dude from South America, knockout artist, number 7 in the world by the WBC. I'm 19 years old. You know, nobody knows who I am. I just remember, you know, my dad and my grandpa were telling me, you know, you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to shock the world. And, you know, I just had that in my mindset. But, you know, I remember pulling up. I was scared. Never seen so many cameras before, you know. Mm-hmm. All I remember is, you know, the press conference. I told him like, I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. And then fight day came, and it was, you know, like I was nervous and I was shaky. I was nervous. We walk into the arena, and then, you know, everything just chilled out, and then I just knew it was my time. Well, a lot that has to do with it is, you know, I put a lot of faith in, you know, Jesus Christ. I'm religious, and you know, that takes me to where, you know, I put my faith in Him. Mm-hmm. We're trusting that He's gotten me this far. So.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything special that, like, you know, your dad or your grandfather say to you, you know, to help get your mind right when you're in those, you know, like, do you guys have any pre-fight rituals that you share together? You know, do they pep talk you? What is that like for you?
You know, it's just, you know, it's just the whole camp. They're just saying, you know, you look good. You know, you're going to feel good. You know, you're strong. You know, it's the whole camp. We're just positive. And then, you know, before we fight, you know, pray. Yeah, we pray. We're going to churches on Sundays. But it's just, you know, we've all fought before. So, you know, once it's fight week, you know, we all have the same energy. Once we step into the arena to fight, we all have that same energy. And, you know, there's not one negative thought, you know, it's all positive. And, you know, then it gets emotional after I knock out the guy, you know, then it's like, oh, like it's over with, you know, we're done. Like, it's very stressful for us, but
yeah,
it's part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. How's that espresso tasting? Pretty good. The cortada?
Excellent.
It's hitting the spot, hey?
Cortado was excellent.
Cortado's hitting the spot. Fantastic. So how, you know, so your father was a fighter, your grandfather also was a fighter, correct?
Yep.
And so do you find stylistically there's, like, you guys are sort of similar in a sense, or have you guys evolved, you know, and used each other's experiences?
It's exactly what we do. We use each other's experiences. My grandpa was like, what was he, 28? It's like 28 and 8, something like that. And they typically used him as an opponent in California. And, you know, he's fought a couple world champions. He's beat a lot of good guys. And, you know, his experiences, you know, you fight hard and you have that mindset. And that's where we get the mindset from, you know, my grandpa, because he don't care if I fight anybody, anytime, you know, like he knows what it takes to win. And, on my dad's side, he has 150 amateur fights. He's trained with a lot of world champions. He's been in there with a lot of Olympians. So he also knows what it takes to be a world champion. You've seen it, and they just throw it into me. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm here, because I got great coaches. I have a lot of experience in my corner. I think that leads my way. I mean, there is a lot of good coaches out there that's never fought before, but it's different when it's my dad. It's different when it's my grandpa. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and it's also, there's also legacy wrapped up in that as well, right?
exactly, yep. And once I win the world title, that's my goal. It's gonna be it for family. That's gonna be it, and I'll be the last fighter.
Yeah, and so have you thought about like what you would do like after that moment is achieved? Would you continue to fight? Would you retire from boxing, or would you just cross that bridge when you kind of come to it?
No, once I get one world title, talked about it. We're gonna go for all of them, and that's the goal. We just got to get the first title first, and we're gonna go after all the big names. I know I'm only 21 years old, but there's still a lot to go. I got to about 28 at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, young in just human years, but ultimately the perfect time to be in pro sports, especially in a combat sport. I mean, you want to be at your, genetic peak, and you're just kind of like, I don't even think you've reached that yet. We were chatting before you've come on, and, we were catching some footage of you fighting, and, you got a lot of talent and you pack a lot of punch, and being 21 works in your favor. It works in your favor because you got a long road ahead of you and just to get better and better in your career. So, and I'm assuming you're a fan of the sport as well. You watch boxing, or do you even have time with your busy lifestyle?
No, I kind of like it now. Like I remember when I was amateur, I used to like Mikey Garcia, and then I turned into a big Errol Spence fan when he beat Mikey Garcia, right? Because that was one of Mikey Garcia's last fights, anyways. So I started watching Errol Spence, and then I was really excited for that Bud Crawford fight against Spence, and Spence is still my favorite fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he just that was a crazy fight. So after that fight, I've been real interested in watching everybody fight, because I honestly never really watched Crawford fight before, and watching that, I'm like, a lot of these guys got a lot of good skill. Like I thought Spence was the top dog out there. So I don't know. I get excited. Like I was excited for the Ryan Garcia-Haney fight. I honestly thought Haney was going to win, but then, once I saw Ryan Garcia lose a little bit, I was like, come on, dude. But I don't know, it was exciting. It was a great fight. I liked watching that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone thought Ryan Garcia was going to lose that fight. I would imagine, I would love to get your opinion on this, that I think fighting angry worked against Haney. How important is it to control your emotions in the ring?
Well, I think that's what, I'm actually very good at, because like when people I spar people, and, I hit them, you see them start getting frustrated. They try to change their style up and stuff like that, rather than, just going with the flow. Like, I'm not saying it's okay to get hit, but, if somebody hits me, I'll be fine. It's just, like, it don't really bother me too much, rather than a lot of people get pissed off and stuff like that. Or even like trash talk. They take it to heart. I think a lot of it has to do with hyping up a fight and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't take a lot of things personal, and I kind of laugh at it when I get hit. So
yeah. I feel like it can dismantle a game plan when someone gets too emotional, and I think that's really what we saw in that, because that was not the Haney that we all enjoy. That was not the Haney that we talk about his skills. That was like he had one punch. He barely used his jab. He didn't control the ring past the fourth round. Like, there was just so many things, but I think it was him kind of folding under the pressure and the hatred for everything that happened before that fight. So definitely an interesting one in our recent boxing history.
There's so many factors I could have, played out.
If
but
you could,
one thing for sure is Rangers won.
True that. So if you could go back in time, like any historical boxer, who would you fight and why?
I'm not sure, to be honest. No, I have one historical person I can fight. I don't know. Fighting's not that fun, to be honest. Fighting is scary. I don't know. I don't know. If I were to go back, I would like to watch Pacquiao versus who did he fight that one Ibarra. What's his name, dude? Pacquiao, he fought him 3 times. Ibarra, what's his name? Mark. No. The other one. Remember, he was old as shit. Remember, Pacquiao's fought. Yeah, is that him? Oh, Morales. Yeah, I'd like to watch Pacquiao and Morales. Yeah, Morales was already old. He already went through everybody, and he still beat Pacquiao when Pacquiao was young.
What about Dad? If Dad could fight anyone, any historical
Who would you
boxer,
fight?
who would
Anybody.
he fight?
Yeah.
I would like to be at the Ferrara and Devin McKelly, but
No, who would you want to fight? Yeah. You don't want to fight nobody, you said. Yeah, it's kind of tough like that. What was I going to say? Wilder's going to fight Big Baby. I think that's going to be a tough one.
We got Big Zang. Okay, so let's go through it. I want to know straight from the champ's mouth. Let's do some fight predictions. What do you say? First up, we got in May, we got Canelo versus Munguia. Let's start there.
I think Canelo's going to win, but to be honest, Munguia's young. He does have a lot of experience. I feel like Canelo is kind of on his way out. He has like 60 pro fights. So, it's 60 training camps, 60 weight cuts. But, I think he does have the experience to beat Jaime. But, I still I feel like at this point, whoever Canelo fights 50-50 because he's kind of on his way out. But
Wow.
I'll go.
You go Canelo? Okay. What about Inoue and Yuri?
I'll be honest. I don't even. I watched that full fight once when he fought Fulton, and he just he beat the crap out of him. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the Japanese guy you said first.
He's dangerous. He's good. That's a good choice. I'm with you.
Hard sell.
Okay, we got Lomachenko and Kambosos Jr. Who do you got for that?
I don't know. I think I'm going with Kambosos. Is that his name?
Kambosos, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him.
Over Loma. Why? Do you think Loma's washed up? What's up?
Not that he's washed, but he's kind of old. He's had a couple fights as well. Know what I mean?
Okay.
He's still young. Still young.
I think we're going to see Lomachenko Ukrainian dance his ass around Kambosos, but that's just me.
It's very possible. Very, very possible. But if I were to bet money, I'm going with Kambosos.
Okay, got it. Let's go north of 6 feet now to Usyk versus Fury. Who do you got for that?
I'm going to go with Fury because Fury's 6'7", 300 pounds. And he's fought Wilder. I know Wilder's a little bit smaller, but I know Wilder. He beat Wilder twice, and Wilder's no pushover. I don't think Usyk could beat Wilder even. So that'd be a good fight. That'd be a better fight to watch because damn Fury's gonna outbox the crap up. I think Fury's gonna outbox the crap up.
Yeah, and Fury looks like he's in way better shape than he was against Ngannou. I don't think he took that fight seriously. I've actually never seen him look worse.
I think they were friends. He got him to fight, and then he got him to fight Joshua, and now he had like 2 of the biggest paydays of his life.
I mean, yeah, his life has changed forever for sure. For the financial best, Beterbiev versus Bivol.
I'm gonna go with Bivol because I really like Bivol. I think he's really good, really talented. He has a great style, and I feel like Beterbiev's really strong, really tough, but I think he's gonna have to do a little bit more defense. You know what I mean? Because I think Bivol could just keep him right there all day. So I'm gonna go with Bivol.
I'm with you on that one. Amazing. Okay, and then we touched on Zhang versus Wilder. You had Wilder for that?
Zhang just fought. He lost to Parker, huh?
He lost to Parker.
No, I'm gonna go with Wilder on that one. No, Wilder's gonna fight Jared Anderson. No, in LA. Oh, he's gonna fight Zhang first.
Yeah, he's got Zhang.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Wilder.
Wilder,
Yep.
okay. And then, just curious, while we're on the topic of fight predictions, out of the MMA shit show world, we have Diaz versus Masvidal. Do you care, and do you have a prediction?
I like them both, to be honest. I like them both.
Okay.
I like Diaz because he's crazy. He's crazy as hell. So, but I like to see Diaz win because I like to see him win because, I want to see someone from the West Coast win.
Cool. I love it. Okay. Thanks for that. So back to you. Now I understand that you're making some business moves outside of the ring. You got some other things cooking. Do you care to tell us more about that?
Like what?
Well, rumor is that you're starting a promotion.
We're getting into it. We'll see what happens.
Cool. Okay. I think it's really wicked when fighters start making like some good business decisions outside of just their boxing careers. I think that it's so important to have that to lean against, alongside your career and to build that. So if you are getting into the promoting, I wish you also the best of success with that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a big world. Go make moves in it.
We're going to get something big going.
Good. Well, I'd love to hear it. We'll check in on the future successes of your family there. I'd love to see it. Okay, so what advice, I'm curious, would you give to a young amateur looking to turn pro? Going through what you've been through, what would you say to them?
I'll probably say, I'd say you got to learn the basics. You got to learn the fundamentals. You got to learn how to fight behind the jab. All right, amateur, I'd stay amateur as long as you can. Learn to fight behind the jab. And then if you look on turning pro, I'd wait till you're at least 18 years old. And don't go to Mexico, because you see a lot of idiots go to Mexico, right? And you see a lot of idiots go to Mexico and fight Mexico opponents and go out of your pocket, right, and lose money, rather than, you could fight the same opponent in the United States and get paid a couple bucks for it. So I would not go to Mexico. The only reason I went is I was 16 years old. So then I would not go to Mexico, and I would fight as often as possible and fight, the best opponents you can to make yourself better. That was the best advice I could give, because
awesome.
I don't know, I see a lot of foolish mistakes, and people always ask me like, "Oh, how do you do it?" Well, we kind of took the hard route.
Right. Again, you did have a short amateur career. What was the kind of grand design behind that, or was it just wanted to make the most out of your younger years? What was it?
So what happened was I had about 34 amateur fights. I had won a couple nationals. I remember when I had first went to nationals, I'd lost I was losing I lost like 4 of the same kids. And then I got a little bit older, got a little bit better, started beating them. And then I had my son when I was 16 years old. So then it was either finish school, get a job, or, try to finish school and turn pro. So I tried to finish school, I turned pro, and then it worked out really well for me. My parents helped me out. My dad was hustling for sponsors, and then, we just kind of, took it one fight at a time, and then we blew up. It was great. But yeah, that's why my amateur didn't last too long, because I did when I was 16.
Right. Was there a point during that time, like that must have been difficult, was there a point in that time that you almost thought about quitting boxing?
No, not at all. I never thought about quitting boxing. COVID hit, and then, we were in COVID for about, a couple months. So then I opted out, like we were just able to just chill and not do nothing, you know what I mean? And then as soon as COVID was over with, I think I was already 18. So then before I started fighting in the States, and then I was making more money than I usually would, because I was selling, my dad was selling like $20,000 worth of tickets, and we get a percentage out of that. So, things were, and all that, but he was hustling for sponsors. So, I was getting all right money for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, that hustle for, marketing yourself and sponsorship is a huge part of the game, especially I think when you're, in the early stages. How important do you think, it is to have like a social media presence, and, not necessarily going as far as Ryan Garcia, but like, do you think it's important for fighters to engage in that?
Well, to be honest, I never thought it did until maybe the past year, because, if sponsors see you with such a big, as an influence, then they're going to want you to promote their stuff. And then, because you get all these followers, of course. And then, the more, I honestly think, the more followers, the better, because you have more opportunities to get bigger, better sponsors. So, You know, that's always really good. Not only that, but you know, you want people to know who you are, because you don't want to be, you know, 17-0 and then nobody knows who you are. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
that's embarrassing. So you know,
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah. And it sounds like your dad really has a great drive and a great kind of vision for, you know, what he needs to be doing in the background to help push. So you guys seem like a really strong team.
Oh, we're very strong. I mean, my dad's fought before, you know, so that's
He gets it.
he gets it. And you know, not only that, but you know, when I had my kid, we had sat down and talked, and he was like, well, by the time you're 21, if you're not, you know, in the direction you want to be seeing you in, then I'm not going to coach you anymore. You can still fight, do whatever you want. It's best if you get a job and, you know, start worrying about providing to your family. But 19 years old, I beat Vidal. And so I told him, you know, you're going to be training me just a little bit longer. So
That's so cool. I mean, what a big moment for you as a father and son to kind of have like real, you know, like a tough love, like a real talk moment like that. And do you think that conversation and its rawness like really helped drive you to that victory at 19?
oh, yeah, 100%. You know, if I would have lost that fight, probably wouldn't even be fighting. But, you know, we've always had, you know, tough love like that. And that's why I am who I am today. And, you know, he treated me like that. And I mean, I was kind of, you know, knucklehead, but, you know, my brothers, you know, saw the way he treated me for, you know, acting foolish. And then, you know, they kind of learned from it, you know, like they didn't want to be treated the same way. But, you know, he's a great dad. He's helped me out plenty. He's helped me out a lot. He's still helping me out, you know, whenever I need something to watch the kids, my dad's there to watch it.
Wow. That's,
I'm just
I
kidding.
love it.
All this.
I love the teamwork though. Way to go, mom, the unsung hero, the babysitter. What's next? Like, do you guys have any fights, conversations in the works? What's next for you in your camp?
June 15th, we're going to be in Vegas on the Tank Davis, Benavides. That's what we'll be fighting. So I got about
yeah.
7 weeks. 7 weeks. That's why I took, you know, well, I had a commercial to shoot out there in California, but you know, since we're out there, I took the kids to Disneyland. I took my wife out there, and we had a good time. She was able to see her family because she's from California, and it was a good time. But now, you know, tomorrow we start camp, and you know, it's time to get back to work.
And how does the initial phase of camp look for you? What kind of stuff are you guys prioritizing at the beginning?
The beginning is mostly, well, since my last, you know, my last camp, you know, I've kind of stayed really in shape. So, you know, usually I get a little heavy and really got to work on my weight. But, you know, past couple fights, I've been keeping my weight down, running, you know, staying light, staying, you know, somewhat in shape. So when it's time to start training, you know, I get the groove back really quick. But usually we usually, you know, stay focused on my strength and conditioning and, you know, my technique. But, you know, overall camp, I train 2 to 3 times a day. I have a nutritionist. My mom is my cook. So, you know, she makes all my food for me, whatever the nutritionist needs, because my mom has to weigh everything out, get certain ingredients, stuff like that. And then I have lots of doctor's appointments. A lot of people don't know that, but, you know, it takes a lot of mental strength, you know, taking care of your mental, you know, so I have mental doctors that help me out, and then chiropractors and stuff like that. So it's not all about, you know, just boxing. It's a lot of mental work, doctor work, and strength and conditioning.
I love that. I love that kind of holistic approach. It really sounds like you guys have such a dynamite, you know, approach to your training, and your whole team behind you is just really impressive. And the fact that you guys are family, I think that's just wicked. So, you know, we look forward to seeing you on that undercard, and we totally look forward to seeing, you know, how your camp progresses and all the success in your future. And I believe there's going to be lots of it. I appreciate your time tonight. And thanks to the family for allowing you to step away from the busyness and spend some time chatting with us.
Yeah, of course. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was, I don't really like the interviews and stuff like that, but this one was pretty chill. I would do it with you again.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely we'd love to chat with you after your next fight.
Perfect.
And then you and I can bet on the next, 10 fights in the calendar.
Yeah, perfect.
And if
The
I win,
only disagreement we had was Cambosos, right?
True. If I win, I want Dad to make me a cortado.
All right.
If you win,
That's the deal.
what do you want?
I win. I'll take another one.
Okay. But Dad has to make it, not me.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, Eli. I wish you all the best, all the success from Empire.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Make sure to listen, follow, and subscribe to Empire Boxing on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.